After 15 years in landscaping and design, I can tell you, the yards that look genuinely expensive rarely have the biggest budgets. They have a handful of specific renovations done right. Oversized planters anchoring a front door that finally has presence. A clean line of edging that separates the lawn from the beds and tightens the whole front of the house. Warm landscape lighting that turns the yard into a feature after dark instead of a black void. Most homeowners skip these and pour money into upgrades that don't move the needle. One of these 10 renovations is being pushed by contractors right now as the premium add-on. It's the single change that makes every other upgrade on this list look 10 times more expensive. Most homeowners install it last. It should be the first thing you plan around. Let's get into it, starting with number 10. Number 10. Crisp steel garden bed edging. A crisp metal edge between lawn and beds is the single fastest way a yard reads as designed instead of just maintained. It's the line your eye locks onto from the street, and when it's sharp, the whole property gets pulled together. It's also the easiest Tier 1 upgrade you can make to almost any front yard. Most homes I walk into don't have edging this crisp. They've got that wavy black plastic kind, the 20-foot roll for under $30. Within 2 seasons, it heaves out of the ground from frost, the connectors pop apart, and you're left with a floppy ribbon of plastic that the mower keeps clipping. Here's what's going on. Plastic edging is typically only 4 to 5 inches deep. The frost line in most of the country runs 12 to 36 inches down depending on your zone. Every freeze-thaw cycle pushes it up about a 1/4 inch, and after one winter, it's already lost the battle. The edge collapses, mulch spills onto the lawn, grass creeps into the bed, and the whole yard starts looking blurry. The upgrade is steel or aluminum edging, ideally 14 gauge or thicker, installed at a depth of 4 to 6 inches with stakes every 3 feet. You're looking at roughly $4 to $7 a linear foot. It holds a razor-sharp line for 15 to 20 years, and it makes mowing faster because the wheel rides right against it. Get the edging crisp now, and combine it with what's coming up at number 1. And your yard transforms after dark too. That's where the whole list starts compounding. And the next renovation is the easiest one on this list to get wrong because most homeowners install it at a fraction of the size it needs to be, right at the front door. Number 9. Oversized planters, flanking the entry. The right pair of planters at the front door does more visual work than $5,000 of new landscaping. They give your entry real presence. They pull the eye up, and they signal that someone thought about this yard before they installed it. The properties that look most expensive almost always have planters that match the architecture and scale. Walk up to almost any suburban front door, though, and you'll see 2 small terracotta pots, maybe 10 inches across, with a tired geranium drowning in each one. They disappear against the architecture, and they're the reason an entry feels flat even when the rest of the yard is fine. I worked on a property a few years back where the homeowner spent over $12,000 on a stone walkway and porch refresh. Beautiful work. But she kept the same little pots she'd had since 1998. The whole project read as a 6 out of 10 because the eye landed on those pots first. We swapped them for 2 24-inch matching planters in a charcoal fiberstone, and the entry instantly looked like it belonged on a different street. Here's the rule I give every client. Your entry planter should be at least 1/3 the height of your front door. So, for a standard 80-inch door, you want planters in the 24 to 30-inch range. Anything smaller disappears against the architecture. Stick to fiberstone, fiberglass, or glazed ceramic rated for your USDA zone because cheap concrete cracks below 20 degrees Fahrenheit and terracotta shatters by the second winter. Plant them with a thriller, filler, spiller combo. 1 tall vertical plant, 1 mounding plant, 1 trailing plant. That's it. But planters only do their job if what sits behind them is doing its job too. And that's the next renovation, the one that decides whether your beds look full or flat. Number 8. Layered planting in 3s. Layered planting is the renovation that makes a yard look genuinely full and high-end even with the same plant budget as the house next door. 3 tiers of depth, back, middle, front, that read as one composed picture from the street. Once your yard has it, every other detail on this list starts looking more expensive too. Most homeowners line every shrub up in a single row against the house, like soldiers on parade. Same height, same depth, same distance from the wall. That's not landscaping, that's a haircut. Layered planting means 3 tiers. Tall structural plants in the back at 4 to 6 feet, medium mounding plants in the middle at 18 to 36 inches, and a low ground cover or perennial layer in the front under 12 inches. The bed itself needs to be at least 5 to 6 feet deep from the house out, which is where most builder beds fail. They're 30 inches deep, which physically can't hold 3 layers. Here's something most people don't realize. The reason high-end gardens look full isn't because they used more plants. It's because the eye reads depth. A 6-foot deep bed with 3 planting tiers reads as twice the visual mass of a 30-inch bed packed with the same number of plants. Same plant budget, completely different result. And layered planting reads even more high-end when you stop using one of every plant you find. That's the discipline coming up at number 4. Quick thing. If you're finding this useful, subscribing is the easiest way to keep these tips coming. But getting your planting right loses half its impact when the surface you walk on to get there is the cheapest material on the shelf. And that's a $4,000 mistake I've watched a homeowner make in person. Number 7. Natural stone stepping path. A natural stone path is one of those upgrades that looks like it's been there for 100 years the day you finish installing it. Irregular flagstone, set with proper joints, with a soft ground cover creeping between the stones. It reads as European, timeless, and expensive. And it's the kind of detail you can't fake with the alternative. The default in most yards is concrete pavers from the big box store. The 12 by 12 gray concrete square has been the cheapest option on every shelf since 1995, and your eye recognizes it instantly. Even when it's brand new, it reads as builder grade. I had a client in the Northeast who wanted the natural stone look but tried to do it the cheap way. And this is the delayed consequence story homeowners need to hear. He bought thin 1-inch flagstone from a discount supplier and laid it directly on grass. Looked beautiful for one summer. By February, frost had heaved every stone into a different angle. By the second spring, 3 of them had cracked clean through, and his wife rolled an ankle stepping off the porch. He ended up tearing the whole thing out and starting over. About $4,200 wasted because he skipped the base. The right approach is irregular natural flagstone, minimum 1.5 to 2 inches thick, set on 4 inches of compacted gravel base with polymeric sand or low ground cover, like creeping thyme between the joints. Space the stones so they fall on a natural pace, about 24 inches center to center for a comfortable stride. Expect to pay $15 to $25 a square foot installed, but the path will outlast you. But that path looks 10 times more expensive when it cuts through beds with the right shape, and most homeowners are off by about 3 feet without realizing it. Number 6. Wide mulch beds with curved edges. Wide, sweeping mulch beds are the renovation that makes a house look settled into the land instead of dropped onto a lot. They soften the architecture, they create depth from the street, and they're the foundation every other planting decision sits on. The properties that look truly finished almost always have generous beds with long flowing curves. Builders default to a 24 to 30-inch mulch strip running in a straight line along the foundation. It's the cheapest thing they can do to call the lot landscaped before the closing, and it's the reason your house looks like every other house on the cul-de-sac. The fix is 2-part. First, double the depth. Push your beds out to a minimum of 5 feet, and in front of large architectural features like a bay window or porch, push to 7 or 8 feet. Second, get rid of the straight line. Use long sweeping curves with a radius of at least 8 to 10 feet. Anything tighter than that reads as squiggly and amateur. Picture the difference. A 30-inch straight strip with 3 boxwoods feels like the house is wearing a name tag. A 6-foot bed with a long curve sweeping around the corner of the house, layered with planting, makes the entire structure look settled into the landscape. Same house, completely different perceived value. A real estate study I trust from the National Association of Realtors found that quality landscaping consistently returns 100 to 150% at resale. Most of that perception is built right here, in the bed shape. Use a garden hose to lay out your curves before you cut. Walk away, look from the street, adjust. Cut the new edge with a flat spade at a 90-degree angle so it holds. All right, we've covered the foundational upgrades. Now we get into the renovations that compound everything else, starting with the one most homeowners ignore the longest, even though it's costing them visual mileage every single day. Number 5. Painted or stained front fence. A fence stained in deep charcoal, near black, or rich chocolate brown turns into a frame that makes every plant in front of it look more expensive. Suddenly the greens look greener. The flower colors pop, and the whole yard reads as composed instead of busy. A dark fence is one of the highest leverage renovations on this list because it costs almost nothing and changes how everything in front of it reads. The default in most front yards is exactly the opposite. Raw cedar fading to that sad silvery gray, pressure-treated pine going greenish-black at the bottom, or white vinyl streaked with mildew. These 3 looks cover about 80% of American front yards, and every one of them makes the planting in front of it disappear into the background. A fence is a backdrop. It's the gallery wall behind your art. When it's a washed-out neutral, your plants compete with it instead of standing against it. Use a high-quality acrylic latex solid body stain rated for at least 7 years of UV resistance. Applied at temperatures between 50 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit on a dry forecast. 2 coats. A 6-foot fence on a standard quarter-acre lot runs about $400 to $700 in materials and a weekend of work. I had a client in Ohio who'd been ready to replace her entire 120 feet of fencing for around $8,000. We stained it deep charcoal instead. Total cost was under $600. 3 years later, neighbors still ask her where she got the new fence. But once the fence is doing its job as a backdrop, the plants in front of it have to do theirs. And this is the renovation where most yards quietly fall apart. Number 4. Repeating plant rhythm. Walk through any high-end designed garden, botanical garden, magazine cover, luxury hotel grounds, and count the unique plant species. You'll find somewhere between 6 and 12. That's the secret. Repetition reads as design. Discipline reads as expensive. Now walk through the average suburban yard and you'll find 30 to 50 different plants, one of each, scattered like the homeowner went on 5 different garden center trips and bought whatever was in bloom that day. Variety reads as chaos. The rule I use is the rule of 3 to 5. Pick 3 to 5 workhorse plants and repeat them in clusters of 3, 5, or 7 throughout the yard. Drifts, not dots. So instead of one purple coneflower next to one daylily next to one ornamental grass, you plant 7 coneflowers, then move 8 feet down the bed and plant 5 more. The eye picks up the rhythm and reads the whole bed as one composition. Would you wear a different color shoe on each foot? Same principle. Cohesion costs nothing extra. It's the same plant budget, just used with discipline. And it's the single fastest way to make a yard look professionally designed when nothing else changed. But none of this rhythm matters when the eye keeps getting yanked toward the things you forgot to hide. And the next renovation is what costs you the entire perception of the yard you just spent thousands building. Number 3. Hidden utilities and in bins. Screening the ugly stuff is the renovation that turns a yard from feeling like a job site into feeling like a finished room. The high-end properties don't have less mechanical equipment than yours. They just hide it better. Once you screen the bins, the AC, the pool pad, and the hose, the eye finally has nothing pulling it away from the design you built. Most yards have the opposite. 3 trash bins by the garage door, an AC condenser unit screaming beige right under the front window, a coiled hose dangling off a hook, a pool equipment pad visible from the patio. Every one of these is a free downgrade. They cost you nothing to install, and they're costing you the entire perception of your yard. I worked on a coastal property where the owners had done everything right. Layered planting, beautiful flagstone, custom lighting, probably $40,000 in total work. But every time you sat on the back patio, you looked straight at 2 pool pumps, a propane tank, and a stack of pavers left over from the install. The whole space felt unfinished. We built a 6-foot horizontal slat screen from cedar 1x4s with a 1-inch gap between boards, set on a simple frame with 4x4 posts. Total cost was around $600 in materials. The patio went from feeling like a job site to feeling like a finished room overnight. The screen specs that matter: height should be 6 to 12 inches taller than whatever you're hiding, with a 12 to 18-inch air gap behind it for AC and AFIAs. Clearance per most manufacturer warranties. Or use a planted hedge of something dense and evergreen like boxwood, holly, or yew, planted at 30 to 36-inch spacing. But there's one more renovation that costs less than $500 total, and it returns more curb appeal per dollar than anything else in this video. Number 2. Upgraded house numbers and mailbox. Oversized metal house numbers, masseurs, and a proper post-mounted mailbox are the under $500 upgrade that returns the most curb appeal per dollar of anything you can do to a yard. Together, they take an entry from builder house to designed home before the visitor even gets to the front door. I've never had a client do this and not text me a photo within the week. The default versions are the problem. Builder address numbers are 4 inches tall, plastic, screwed crooked next to the garage. The mailbox is a hollow vinyl flag on a stick leaning 2 degrees off vertical because someone clipped it with a Christmas tree in 2009. These 2 items are the last thing a guest sees before walking up to your door, and they tell the story of the entire property in 2 seconds. Here's the upgrade. Oversized metal house numbers, 6 inches tall minimum, ideally 8 to 12 inches, in brushed stainless, matte black, or aged bronze, mounted on a clean backer board or directly on the architecture with proper spacing. Standoff hardware that holds the numbers about a ½ inch off the wall is what creates that custom shadow line, and it costs maybe $60 total for a 4-digit address. For the mailbox, a solid post mount in cedar or powder-coated steel with a cast aluminum mailbox head replaces the leaning vinyl tube for under $300 installed. Pour a proper concrete footing 24 to 30 inches deep so it stays plumb through frost cycles. But all of these upgrades, every single one, get multiplied by the final renovation. And this is the one most people install last, even though it should be the first thing you plan around. Number 1. Layered landscape lighting. We've made it to number 1, and this is the renovation that decides how many hours per day your yard actually exists. Properly layered landscape lighting doesn't just light the yard, it doubles its working life. From the moment the sun goes down, the yard becomes the view from every window in the house. Every evening, all year. That's the reframe most homeowners never make. Here's what most people do instead. They buy a bag of solar stake lights from the hardware store, jam them along the front walk, and call it lighting. By month 4, half of them are dim, 2 are leaning sideways, and 1's been mowed over. The yard looks worse with them than without them. Real landscape lighting is layered. You need 3 types working together. Uplighting on trees and architectural features. 12-volt fixtures with LED bulbs at 4 to 7 watts. Color temperature 2700 Kelvin or warmer. Anything cooler than that reads as a parking lot, not a home. Path lighting at 14-inch to 18-inch height, spaced 8 to 10 feet apart along walkways, not every 2 feet like a runway. And downlighting from the eaves or from tree canopies to create soft pools of moonlight on the ground. Think about the math. An unlit yard disappears at 6 p.m. in winter. That's 2/3 of the year where your landscape is invisible from inside the house. A properly lit yard becomes the view from every window every evening. You're not paying for fixtures, you're paying for the other 16 hours a day. Every other renovation on this list, the edging, the planters, the layered beds, the stained fence, the screened utilities, all of it disappears into a black void after sundown unless lighting is doing its job. Install it first, and everything you do after costs the same and looks twice as expensive. A full 12-volt low-voltage system with a transformer, 12 to 20 fixtures, and proper 12-gauge direct burial cable runs about $3,500 to $7,000 installed. It's the single renovation that compounds the value of every other one on this list. If your yard is missing most of these, that's actually good news. Every one of them is an upgrade you can plan for. Pick the one that would shift the look most and start there. But before you spend $1 on any of them, you need to see my video on the garden trends that will date your yard fast. It's on screen right now. Click it.